Okay guys, thanks again for joining me. This is part 3, if you like, of the marathon saga. So this is where I'll discuss the kit based on not all of the kit options available. Obviously there's a whole mass of stuff and I'm not getting involved in all of that, but just the stuff that is applicable to me on a race day, and the last couple of weeks as to how I got to where I got to, sort of thing, and the discoveries, if you like, sort of things that came about. So so just looking at that, a couple of things that I did notice. I mentioned earlier or yesterday now during the nutrition that I kept everything in a belt. So I didn't put a photograph of the belt up or anything like that, but this is a Salomon Pulse belt. So that's all it is. You've got a zip which I keep to the front, and that's where I kept the electrolytes in. It's quite easy to open and close, sort of thing, really easy. And then you've got this top opening pocket. So the whole bag is just a tube of Lycra. I know from previous races I can get a 500ml bottle in that gap with just the top pointing out, so I can just pull that out. I tried it last time with just 2 of those full of gel. This time I just left the gel in the packets and add them in there, the nootropic or caffeine type, stimulant type ones on the one side, and just your regular gels, 30 grams on the other side. It works perfectly, and they come in different sizes. So once you've stood in that, it's like wearing a pair of shorts. It doesn't move. It's on your hips or your waist, wherever it's comfortable for you. That's it. So that for me is a godsend, sort of thing. So I'll take water from the water stations, but so I don't need to carry any more fluid, sort of thing. But that's the gels and everything else. But you see so many people. I run with a vest when I'm doing a training run, and I'm carrying fluid as well as gels, sort of thing. So you've got your little reservoir on your back or whatever, or you've got the bottles here, and I wear that then, and it's not so bad. It is a really snug fit, but I wouldn't fancy racing in it because I still feel like it constricts my breathing, sort of thing, because I want it tight. I don't want it moving. I don't want it chafing off it. But then I have this effect with your breathing, sort of thing. So that's an awkward balance, but that's something for training. That's what I do. So that's that part of kit that I wasn't going to talk about, but I just did. But the main part was just looking. I am like a lot of people, I guess, in that I'm looking for marginal gains, anything that's just that's going to help me in the race itself, sort of thing. So for the last few years, I've run in just a singlet or vest, however you want to call them, and a pair of shorts. Now, the preference is the slash cut shorts, because of the freedom that they give me, sort of thing. That's always been my preference, and it's worked well for me. Excuse me. But I always remember, I hark back in my memories to 2016, 17, 18, sort of thing, when I was doing Ironman competitions, and there's a difference in the effort that you put in to an Ironman marathon as you do to a standalone marathon, sort of thing. For whatever reason, obviously with an Ironman, you've got to meter out your power, your energy over a whole day. Ironman marathon, you just bang it out for a few hours, and that's it. You hope. So there is a slight difference. I understand that, so in the fatigue that you'll feel. But what I always noticed, that doing the Ironman, you're wearing like a cycling type shorts for the run, and the compression that's in them shorts, I always felt benefited me at the end of the day, sort of thing, or during certainly the latter part of the marathon, or probably most of the marathon, because you've already battered your legs in the cycling, and it's that compression that you get, so that each shock of each footfall landing and the shock waves that go up your leg, the oscillation of the muscles, causes tiny tears over a period of time, much the same as going to the gym and banging out your heavy weight sort of thing. Eventually you can feel, and you will if you do a few sets of squats, you get into your third set, as you go down you'll feel the tears starting sort of thing. You can't help it, but you know you're going to feel it when you're standing up. So that was with that in mind. I was looking at a pair of shorts. I know Adidas and Nike, I've seen a few manufacturers doing them. I'm not a lover of Adidas and Nike for whatever reason sort of thing, but the shorts that I've been wearing the last couple of years are by a company called SOAR, SOAR, running in London. Yes, they're kind of expensive, but you get what you pay for in the end of the day, I suppose. Maybe you're paying a bit through the nose for it. He's a designer and he uses really high tech materials, but that comes at a price sort of thing. But depends on how much you want to spend to make yourself comfortable and to be comfortable and confident in what you're wearing sort of thing. So the little advanced marathon race shorts, what I've been wearing, spot on. So light you wouldn't know they're there. They don't get clingy or anything as they get wet. They just wick everything away. Recently I noticed that he was doing what they call the half tights. So that's like the cycling type shorts sort of thing, half a pair of tights, and very high tech sort of thing. They looked a bit iffy. I stayed away from them for a little while because the images on the webpage aren't the best, in that it looks like it's almost like a pair of, for my explanation here, almost like a pair of budgie smugglers with leggings attached sort of thing, with tubes attached. And they look, in the photographs, they look almost see-through, and I was like, not wearing that, that's not going to be a good look. Not when you're in your 60s sort of thing. You might be alright if you're in your 20s and you've got the physique and everything, not an ounce of fat, you can carry that off. Not for me sort of thing. So I stayed clear of it, although I've worn cycling shorts for a long time as a cyclist. But for the run, no. And then eventually I read somebody's review and they said they don't look in real life, they don't come out like they do in the photographs. So are very good in that you get 31 days turnaround on them, so you can get the shorts or whatever equipment it is from them, shorts, vests, sleeves, all sorts of stuff, and you can wear it. They're quite happy for you to wear it, try it, and then if it's not working for you, send it back within 31 days. They'll refund it. So it is good in that respect, because not everything works for everybody sort of thing. So and the best way to do it is to know it, is to wear it outside. So with that in mind, I ordered a pair of these shorts. I've read all of the information on them, how they provide the compression for stabilizing your quads, stopping the oscillations, blah blah blah. All of that all seemed really good. So a pair arrived just before I was going away, and they felt pretty good, but they weren't 100% like the compression that I was used to in cycling shorts or triathlon equipment sort of thing. They covered the same sort of like part of your leg and everything else, but they didn't have that strength in them that I felt that just bound your muscles without being too excessive, obviously. So a little bit disappointed in that, but still they felt good. And I thought, well, maybe if I go down a size, that might give me the extra compression. So I ordered another pair. And this is a costly experiment sort of thing, but because I know you'll get the money back, you refund, so not so bad. So anyway, so I ordered another pair. They came the next size down, pulled them on. The legs didn't feel any different, but there was a few cracks and pops as you pull the waistband up, and I thought maybe that waist is just a little bit too near the limit now, the limit of the material, not me. So I sent that pair back and thought it must be I must have got the right size the first time. Went for a 28k run, and they were great. So like you wouldn't know that they were there. You had to sort of like occasionally check. I was wearing shorts, I didn't just go out naked. yeah, very good, but still not the same, not the kind of stability that I wanted for trying to avoid the onset of fatigue until much later, sort of thing. So as you're starting to run, everything's banging and jiggling about, your muscles do get fatigued because of this bouncing sort of thing. So anyway, tried them, thought, right, okay, I'll go with them. And for this marathon I've just done, whilst I was away, then Soar released the latest ones. Now, I had seen sneak pictures of these and thought maybe they weren't releasing them, sort of thing, so it was just snippets that I saw, but these had what they call a polymer, like a web around them, sort of thing. And I know I've seen Nike, I'm sure Adidas do them as well. You see them with like these silicone type bands around the outside of the material, sort of thing. And I thought maybe that's the bit that I want, because that's what looks like it holds the compressibility. And so I spoke to Soar and they sent a pair, and then when I came home, I came home on Thursday. On a Friday I was going to Blackpool. So Friday morning I had a run planned, 5.5k. So I put the new shorts on, and then I loaded the pockets up with all of the gels that I was going to carry, 8 gels in the back pocket, which worked quite well, sort of thing. And they're all stood up, sort of thing. So the pocket's only probably that big, wide, and probably the same depth as my fingers there. But you can stand the 4 tall gels, the nootropics type ones, 40 grams, and then behind that or on the outside, the 30 grams ones, which just made it easy to know exactly where they were when you put your hands behind your back. So that was all right. And I also had 2 loops on the waist where you could put a gel through the 2 loops on either side, sort of thing. And so I loaded them up as well, just in case I wanted to take them. The new shorts, which are Rayon speed, the Rayon marathon speed shorts, they felt slightly longer, either that or because of the tightness, the extra tightness. When I pulled the shorts up, they didn't all come up all of the way, sort of thing. So they were roughly, they finished at the hinge of my knee, which was a little bit long, sort of thing. So no big deal. I've had similar issues with some of the cycling shorts in the past, and you just pull them up a little bit. They've got a silicone gripper in cycling shorts, which stops them going back down again or stops them riding up further. Excuse me. So put them on, adjusted the height up so I got it above the hinge on my knee, so above, completely clear above, an inch or so above my kneecap. And then pulled all of the excess in all the way up, sort of thing, to the waist. So we were in good shape. They looked fine and they felt good. And off I went for a run. Just within the 5k, probably 2.5k into the run, I could feel that the legs had slipped down again, and they were starting to just aggravate me behind my knee, sort of thing. You're running and you've got clothing stuck where your knee is doing that, it just bunches up behind your knee. It's not comfortable. It's it's not the end of the world in a way, but it's a niggle. And you're going to do 8 times that distance for the marathon. It was going to just wind me up. So that was the first of the red flags. I could feel a little bit of aggravation from the gels and in the pocket, and also on the waistband, sort of thing. Didn't realize how much aggravation I could feel, but I could feel the aggravation, sort of thing. When I came home and started to empty the pockets, etc., then on my back, the tops of the gels had marked across my back, sort of thing, just couple of little marks. No big deal really, but there was just a couple of little marks there. But the side ones, the ones there, so you've got the waistband itself, which is probably the size of 2 fingers, the 2 tubes, you've got a gel, So maybe if you're the athletic type with no excess around the waist area, then you've got nothing to touch the gel wrapper. But the gel wrappers are quite sharp plastic corners on them, sort of thing. And me with a little bit of excess, they did rub quite a lot. So I ended up with taking the skin off here, the skin off there from that one gel there, and also some skin off here as well. So not great, and they were returned this morning as well, sort of thing. So that's all of the compressing type shorts, half tights have gone back, and I ran in my tried and tested advanced marathon race shorts, which are great, and they never let me down. I had a really good run. The only thing I was trying to avoid by going with the longer legs and that is just the potential for chafing if it's unusually hot and sweaty, or if it's raining and you get wet, then all of a sudden you start getting chafing in areas that you haven't had before or whatever. So I was just trying to avoid that by having these like cycling type things on, so that there wouldn't be any chafing. But it wasn't for me, didn't work, and so I got away lightly with a couple of marks prior to. So another reason why you don't try anything brand new on race day, because I could have just took them to Blackpool and thought, yeah, they'll be all right because they just got legs on them, and that you just pull them on, you're not going to get chafed or anything, and it would have been the wrong size. I'd have been getting cut. It wouldn't have been just added to the catalogue of everything else that happened, sort of thing. It wouldn't have been great. So so there we are with them. So but the actual sore stuff, I got a sore vest, a few sore vests, excellent kit, brilliant kit. I wouldn't knock it, none of it, sort of thing, because maybe if you've got longer legs, they won't bunch up behind your knees or whatever. It's all individual, sort of thing. But at least with them, you can try it on, run in it, and then still send it back confidently within 31 days, and you get your money back, sort of thing, or you get a different size, or whatever it might be, sort of thing. So it is good stuff. I wouldn't knock it, as is the Shyu SHYU socks that I like to wear as well, because they fit like no other sock I've ever had. I used to remember socks used to be in 2 or 3 different sizes, and then down to 2 different sizes, from like 6 to 8, and then 9s to 11s, or whatever they are. But the Shyu socks, spot on, and they just fit my size of foot, 9.5 or whatever it is, perfectly, and they're great. The support that they give to the actual foot is spot on, so I wouldn't be without them either, and I have no plans in changing them. So that was it. So just the little tube around my waist, vest, shorts, and a pair of socks, happy days, and my shoes. But yeah, so there is an awful lot out there. Think about what you're wearing. Not everybody wants to wear a singlet or a vest. A lot of people in t-shirts and that, carrying jackets tied around your waist and that. I'm just for minimal. It's just I get away with the least I can, and that's it, sort of thing, as do a lot of people. But it's each to their own. You see an awful lot of different kit choices on a marathon, sort of thing, so everything works for somebody. But yeah, anyway, that's it for nutrition. So coming in with the next one, isn't it? Oh yeah, next one is rescuing your race, or strategies, but I'll talk about that the next time. All right, thanks very much. Bye now.